So I had an idea to do a 7-day digital minimalism experiment. Over the past couple months, I've been watching and streaming a bit more than I would like, spending a bit too much time on email. So I thought it'd be helpful to do a bit of a detox, to take 7 days to set up some rules for my life. Now, I do this kind of stuff pretty frequently. I'm pretty conscious about my media consumption. So I thought it'd be more fun this time around to bring somebody else along for the ride, specifically my fiance, Natalie. If you haven't seen any of my videos with Nat, she's definitely not a minimalist. While she's become a more conscious consumer since we started dating, she's not at all interested in simple living, paring down, and most of all, digital minimalism. She often spends the first and last hour of each day scrolling through social media on her phone. And she hates rules. Like every time I suggest a social media detox or that maybe we should get rid of the TV, she loses her goddamned mind. And that's where the twist comes in. Now, under normal circumstances, I would suggest talking about this with your partner, but I thought, what if I actually come up with 4 digital rules for how we should be living our lives over the next week without any input from Nat? To my surprise, she agreed, under one condition.
For things to wash. Oh no! You shaved your beard!
Oh, you're bored already? Rule number 1, no screens in bed.
Okay.
The idea is that we're not like waking up looking at our phone. We're not.
Oh, that's really hard,
the last thing that we're
actually.
Because I mean, if it's in the bedroom, you're probably not going to use it.
I spend like 2.5 hours in the morning on my phone until I get out of bed.
Really? Number 2, this one's more for me than for you. Schedule all email to once daily.
Okay. Yeah, that won't be hard for me.
Yeah, because you don't have a job.
Yeah.
Lately, it's been like compulsively checking all the time. Like,
oh, so we can only check it once a day?
You can only check it once a day.
Oh, that's interesting.
So you have to actually schedule it. You have to say, okay, 11 o'clock every day. That's when I do email, whether it's for an hour, 30 minutes. So that's the next one. Limit social media to 30 minutes daily.
Oh my God.
I did these in an order where I think you'd get more and more upset as we go along.
I should have said goodbye to all my friends.
And the last one here, limit all streaming to 1 day. YouTube, Netflix, Hulu.
So you meant video streaming?
The major hitters.
Video streaming. Man, what are we gonna do?
That's a great question, and that's what we're gonna find out on this week's episode. Heading into this experiment, and based on Natalie's reaction, I felt like maybe I didn't go far enough with these rules. But realistically, I just don't think she knows what she's getting into. I've talked quite a bit on this channel about the relationship we have with technology and the benefits of limiting screen time to create a healthier relationship with our devices. I've been interested in it for years, but it took me a while to make real changes in my life. It really all started with a 30-day social media detox I did last year. Up until that point, I thought social media was a vital part of my life and business. I was wrapped up in likes, comments, and every other form of engagement. As mindful as I wanted to be about the time I spent scrolling through social media, there was this invisible force that kept me glued to my phone much longer than I'd like to admit. When I initially stepped away from my original 30-day social media detox, I was genuinely worried. I was worried that my business would lose traction, that my social network would collapse, my friends and relationships would worsen because of it. And what I eventually found out was that the exact opposite happened. When I abandoned all social media, besides scheduling my weekly uploads to YouTube, I saw the largest growth in my audience to date. I was also just happier and more content every day. I realized that social media didn't make me feel any more connected than in the past. And I'm not the only one that started to see the benefits. Over the past couple of years, more and more people are seeing the positive results of decluttering their digital lives. I wondered if during the 7-day experiment, Natalie would see the same benefits as well. All right, so we're just a couple of days into this experiment now. Nat, how are you feeling?
I mean, I don't mean to sound obnoxious, but I don't feel like I'm getting any value out of this experiment beyond proving the lengths that I'll go to support you and your channel.
Wow. Thanks, Nat.
Just don't want that to be forgotten.
Okay, so Natalie wasn't really feeling the experiment, but these rules really helped me to avoid distractions and stay productive throughout my workday. The two that made the biggest difference, limiting streaming to 1 day a week and only checking email once a day. I will admit that during the first 2 days, I reflexively typed in gmail.com without even thinking, and I quickly averted my eyes, remembering that I wasn't supposed to check email until 11 a.m. But I wasn't the only one to break a rule.
How long do you think it'll take us to get to Area 51? No phones in bed! I am so sorry.
That was your phone. You don't know this. I've used my phone in bed.
What?
I'd had enough.
You consciously did
I'm
it?
not gonna get out of bed just because I want to quickly see something. I have used social media more than half an hour a day.
Oh my god.
I have checked my emails several points a day. The only rule I haven't broken is the streaming rule. I have not streamed. Wait, I take that back.
I'm honestly not sure how Nat and I are so compatible. She has no respect for rules and hasn't gotten a thing from this experiment, as to where I've personally found so many benefits from embracing digital minimalism. I even went so far to write down the 4 rules on a couple of note cards and tape them to my computers just so I wouldn't forget and slip back into my old habits. Honestly, whatever works for you. Natalie might just be the perfect example that the rules don't apply to everyone.
I don't tire from it, you know? Like, I speak to people who are like, oh, you know, it's exhausting. I just compare myself to everyone, and I can see how that might happen, but I don't feel like my digital usage is a trigger for any negative feelings or outlook.
If you are the kind of person who thinks that digital minimalism can help your life, I definitely recommend you check out the audiobook by Cal Newport called Digital Minimalism, using this week's sponsor, Audible.
I listened to Cal's audiobook earlier this year, and it cemented just how important it is for us to create a healthy relationship with technology.
People don't succumb to screens because they're lazy, but instead because billions of dollars have been invested to make this outcome inevitable.
As a crazy slow reader, Audible allows me to listen to lots of audiobooks each year. I listen to them while doing cardio at the gym and while commuting around LA. Start listening with a 30-day Audible trial. Choose 1 audiobook and 2 Audible originals absolutely free. Visit audible.com/Matt Diavella or text Matt Diavella to 500-500.
If you're on the fence about this whole thing, if you're kind of like Natalie and you're not really sure if digital minimalism is for you, I still recommend that you listen to this book. I think it will question a lot of assumptions you have about your use of technology, especially social media. So check it out.
So it became clear pretty early on that setting up these 4 rules created a lot of discomfort. More so for Nat, but I definitely felt it as well. It's so easy to crash on the couch after a long day, turn on Netflix, and enjoy some passive entertainment. And while I don't think there's anything wrong with a little TV, I know it doesn't make me feel good if I go overboard. With these rules in place, instead of instinctively going for the remote, we had to get a little bit more creative with our time. We played board games, read books, got out of the house.
You're driving.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh
You're looking up food recipes while we're driving.
Literally all I do.
We spent time sitting around doing nothing. Natalie spent 30 minutes to an hour every day journaling, and I learned how to ride one of these things. I wouldn't say we had more quality time with each other than what's typical, but it was fun to switch up our routine.
You ready to go?
Yeah.
So I've been meaning to do this digital reset for a long time. And while Nat might not have seen a lot of benefits from it, it certainly has helped me out a ton in terms of productivity. Again, I mentioned it earlier in the video, but I think that the single greatest takeaway for me was scheduling email. Email is such a trap for me. I'm constantly waiting for somebody to tell me what my priorities should be instead of doing the most important work that I know I should be doing. So if you're gonna do anything, if you take away anything from this video, I definitely recommend those who are looking to improve their productivity to try to, if they can, schedule email throughout the day. This is the one thing that I'm definitely gonna try to bring in the coming weeks and months, and hopefully I don't fall back off the horse again, because I've certainly done this before, but yeah, I've just gotten a lot from that one single rule.
And as this experiment comes to a close, even though Nat had a complete disrespect for the rules, I think we both gained something from it.
No, I definitely didn't gain anything from this.
Great, thanks so much for watching. Really appreciate you guys checking out this video. If you want to try a digital minimalism experiment for yourself, maybe use the 4 rules I came up with, or talk with your partner and see if they can maybe contribute some rules of their own. And hey, I don't care what anybody says about less is more. That definitely doesn't apply to to mustaches. Right?
No, I'm laughing at this.